Good afternoon, everyone. Now we have the Dhamma discussion. We have few questions came, but they are related to the Dhamma talk that was given in the morning. The questions is, what is actually mind? This is a very difficult question, but at the same time, for Buddhist, it is actually easy question because whole Buddhism is about the mind. 45 years of teaching of the Buddha is about the mind, and when you say I am a Buddhist, that means I am learning about my mind, and I am learning about the problems of my mind, and I'm learning how to fix those problems of the mind. Those are the Four Noble Truths. When we become a Buddhist, that means we are following the Four Noble Truths that is discovered by the Buddha. All that discoveries are all about mind. So, when Eskimos have so many words for snow, like we have only one word, snow, but Eskimos have so many words, different type of snow. They have different names, different words to explain it. So just like that, in our case also, we have chitta, we have mana, we have vijnana. Like that, we have many words that Buddhists use. And then we have saraga chitta, vitaraga chitta, sadosa chitta, adosa chitta, amoha chitta, moha chitta. All lot of adjective we use to explain different types of thoughts and emotions that human beings experience regardless of where they live and where they are born and what ethnic background they belong to, and how rich or how poor. None of those things are matter, because all these things, if you are a human being, if you are a functioning person, man or woman or child, or even animal or celestial being, you have operating conscious process, and these conscious process take different forms at different times. But generally, Buddha had very clearly explained the mechanical side of the mind. That is what you call Paticcasamuppada. When you know the Paticcasamuppada, that is all about what are the different parts. Like your car engine has different parts, And when different parts are working, when the engine is started, then one gear turns, the other gear turns, and other gear turns. So then whole thing operate. That operation is the conscious process, or the mental process, or the mind, or the chitta. So we cannot pinpoint that this is the chitta and this is not the chitta, because chitta is constantly moving and never static, not like a baseball. Now you can see this. This is one piece. This is the watch. We'll call it clock, and then that's not. This is not like that. This is functioning. I cannot touch my mind. The operation is taking place, and then the production, like electricity, is the mind. That electricity, that production of the mind, take different moods or different characteristics, and things like that all the time. So the explaining all this is the purpose of the Buddha, and purpose of the Buddha is to explain this and guide you how to manage it correctly, and how do you refine the properties and refine the result of the activity of the mind, and how do you completely at one point cease the operation of the mind. That ceasing the operation of the mind means completely stopping the operation of the conscious process is called Nibbana. That is the ultimate discovery of any being, any person in the whole universe. There is no other God or Brahma or the monk or the teacher or the spiritual teacher or philosopher in the whole universe who has the ability to explain the mechanical side and how to groom it the way you want it, and ultimately how to completely stop the function of the process of activity. Chakkuncha paticca rupecha uppajjati chakku vijnana. Chakku means the eye. The eye does not mean this little part here. The eye can be indriya. Indriya means a sensory organ, but eye faculty means complete we call it institute, complete faculty. The eye and all the nerve system and how it is connected to the brain, and how the eye is accepting light in the information based on light. At certain lights, I can see a certain color, but in a different light, same eye see the same color differently. So that's eye faculty, and then the ear faculty, then the nose faculty, tongue is indriya. Indriya means sensory organ, but whole sensory perception process is sensory faculty. And then chakku, sota, gana, jivha. Jivha means, sota means ear, jivha means tongue. Chakku, sota, gana is the nose, Jiva is tongue. Mana, the fifth organ. Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jiva, Kaya. Kaya means skin or the physical body. Skin has the sensation. You pick up the sensation from skin, or you can call it body if you want. And then Chakku, Sota, Gana, Jiva, Kaya. Sixth one is Mana. I believe that Mana is not necessarily Chitta as we translate normally. Mana could be the brain itself, because eye is a physical organ. You can touch it. Nose you can touch it. Ear you can touch it. Skin you can touch. And Mana should not be other than physical object. So that physical object could be the brain. When the Buddha meant Mana, he would not put non-physical part together with the physical part. In other words, these six organs, the brain could be the Mana, when Buddha used the word Mana. So when there is some malfunction of the brain, then your activity of the chitta or the consciousness become changed. When there's malfunction of the eye, the information that you receive through eye become changed. Same thing about the brain, I think. This is only my idea, that we have not confirmed this with all the expert of the Dhamma, but you can think for yourself. Dhamma is to think for ourselves. So, Mana. So, when there is an object touches the sensory organ, immediately ignite, start to function. And then you think that you saw some object, a flower. My eye touched the flower and immediately start the flower consciousness. And we said that mind is very fast moving, going from one place to the other, very fast. Durangamang. Durangamang means go long distance. Ekacharang. Asarirang, no body. And there's another gatha in the Chittavagga of the Dhammapada. Durangamang ekacharang asarirang guhasayam ye chittang sanya missanti mokhanti mara bandhana. That is a statement by the Buddha in the Dhammapada. You can see. Chittena niyati loko. That, okay. So, where is now these two things, my eye and the flower, had the contact because of the light and other conditions. If there was very dark and I cannot even contact the flower, so the light is there, and as a result, my eye contact the flower, my ear contact the sound, my nose contact the smell. As soon as my sensory organs contact something, immediately it start become active. becoming active. That active part is what you call that movement, and the active part is called Vijnana. Chakkuncha paticca rupecha uppajjati chakku Vijnana. Sotancha paticca saddancha, the ear and the sound is connected, boom, start working. So this is happening all through the day, every second. Now what happens when you are sleeping? When you are sleeping, eye is closed, don't take any information, don't touch any object, visual object. Ear is almost neutral at that time when you are sleeping. But if it's a huge sound, it might wake you up. But in general, your mind is in operation. That's another organ. When the mind is operation, they see Dhamma. I see visual objects, ear, touch, contact, audio object, nose contact, olfactory object, and like that. Then brain contact, Dhamma. Dhamma means things. We don't have a good English word for Dhamma. Dhamma is the object. Any object is called Dhamma. So when you go to sleep, you see so many dreams. And if the brain is so inactive, at that time, you may not even see dreams, and you may hear few little things. But you see that you turn around in the bed, and sometimes if it is cold, you put your blanket on top of your body. I don't even think, but my mind does the job for me. And I didn't know that I turn to the left, I turn to the right, or sometimes when you're sleeping. But my brain does that for me. That means brain is active. When I feel cold, my brain knows I'm cold, so I don't even know that I take the blanket and put over my body. And when it is too hot, I am under the blanket, and my brain pick the heat, and I move the blanket out, so I feel more comfortable sleeping, right? So then what is the mind? This activity of the mind, as soon as it touches the object, the sensory organs touch the object, then there's a mind. Now what happened? I would say chitta, vijnana, right? Vijnana, we call it vijnana because my eye touch the visual object, that is a flower or something that I can see, but my ear pick something that a sound different from visual object. Audio object is different from visual object. And then immediately my mind can distinguish the sound from the form. When you go to movie, you see the movie, people are moving around, and then you see, you hear the music, and then you are eating popcorn, you can feel the taste of the popcorn, And you also hear the smell, feel the smell. How does this happen? You discriminately see the movie, people are moving on the screen, and you hear the sound, which is not the picture, and you feel the smell of the popcorn, that is not the picture or the sound. That means your mind has the ability to separate. This is the picture, this is the sound, this is the conversation, and this is the smell, and this is the taste, and things like that. Mind separately understand. Because the mind separately understands different things, when you contact them, Buddha gave the name Vijnana. Vijnana means, V means separately, Nya is to know. Vijnana means separately understanding process. Now, even inside the visual object, still Vijnana is functioning. You can separate the picture from the sound, but also you separate the man from the woman on the screen. Visual object, but you can feel the difference. And you can also see different colors of the dresses or the costumes. The mind has the ability to separate all that. How fast? In a matter of milliseconds. So within 1 second, you can see the picture, you can hear the sound, you can smell the popcorn, you can taste the popcorn, and all other things. You can see the comfort of the cushion that you are sitting, the seat, if it is comfortable or uncomfortable, that's the skin. So all these are happening in a matter of second, but actually in a matter of millisecond. So that is how fast the mind can separate one thing from the other, one thing from the other. This is so fast. Remember, I told the bee, you can look at the bee and bee fly, and then land on one flower and move his legs and do the little things here and there, and then he fly to the other one. But this is 1,000 times faster. One information come, the second information come, the third information come, and I put them all together. That is called sankhara. Sankhara. This is another function of the mind is sankhara. Another function of the mind that we talked was vijnana. Separating something and putting together something. And when you see the movie, it is one movie that you are seeing, one experience. Although it is one experience, it is so many different experiences put together, called one experience. So our mind has the ability to separate data that is coming in and put together nicely and create one beautiful thing. Creating is called sankhara. When editing, edit all the information, and then you say, I saw a movie. I saw this movie. But actually what happened was, every little second you saw something, and something else, and something else. So, although you think that your mind is seeing the movie, it is not exactly like that. It is one dot, second dot, third dot, fourth dot, dot. That means every dot is different. This is a sound. First dot is a sound. Second dot is a picture. Third dot is a smell. Something like that. When we experience something through our mind, what we call chitta or something, it's all dots, different dots. Long time ago, you saw different movies. The movie reels. They were that time. They were movie reels, and nowadays it's a video. We don't see the movie reels. So in the movie reel, if you look at like this, to move hand from top to bottom, it's at least 15, 20, 30, 40 different frames. Our mind receive information exactly the same way. That means 100 different dots in 1 second. That dot means different frames. One frame is the sound frame, one frame is a picture frame, one frame is something else, and constantly these frames, different frames, are forming in our system. Then we call it, I saw something. I saw something was happening. But actually, each dot is different. Now, what happened? When you contact the flower through your eye, is that all what happened? What happens? No. Immediately, there arises a chitta about the flower. That means your emotional reaction. You see the flower, and either you like the flower, it's a beautiful colors and other things, or if it's dead flower and you don't like it anymore, you discuss, and then you have no likes or dislike regarding the flower. It's indifferent. Emotion arise. Now it's the problem. What is the problem? When there's an emotion arise, for example, another example, is the flower. This is beautiful colors and colors that you have never seen before. It's very nice colors, and you immediately like that. That's the emotion. Then your reaction is to pick up the flower and look at it and maybe try to smell it, and all these are emotional reactions. That is fine. But if your husband or wife or children say something that you heard, my goodness, my husband said that. How could he say something like that? That's the emotional reaction. Oh, he said something so nice about me. Oh, how nice. And now that's the emotional reaction. And now feel so affectionate towards your husband. At the beginning, you thought he said something really bad. That's your emotional reaction, negative reaction. And now you are disgusted. Every time when you see something, when you hear something, when you feel something, all what is happening is contacting something out there in the world. As soon as you contact, there arises Piyarupe sarajyati. Piyarupe sarajyati. Pleasant things that you see, you get emotionally attached to it. Apyarupe vyapadyati. If that is ugly thing that you saw, the dead animal right in front of your, compound, then you go, oh, vyapajyati. You can't stand it. It smells so bad, and the flies are moving around the dead body, and you see all these things, and your disgust is arise. And sometimes it is neither attractive, neither unpleasant, no unpleasant, that is neutral. Fear, not pleasant form that you see, not unpleasant form that you see. There's no excitement, there is no emotion. Then what happened? You immediately look at something else. If you like the flower, you had another second look at it, and you are now there. Few more seconds, you are landing on the same flower because you liked it. If you dislike it, same thing. You are attached to it, means disgustingly attached to it. And then either it is not pleasant, not unpleasant, no excitement, you don't even stay there even a second, that object. You move to something else. That's why we see so many vehicles on the road, nothing happened. But if you see one vehicle that is so beautiful, attractive, and then you hold on to it, emotionally attached, even at night time, after you go home, you can remember that car that you saw on the street, but you saw so many other cars, no excitement. So many other people, no distinction. And if there's a special person, you are walking on the mall and you see someone so nice looking or so well dressed or something, dress is nice, and boom, you attract. And then very funny looking person, ugly and unpleasant, smells bad, you remember, you get attached to that. Emotionally react. That reaction, either disgust, either love, either falling in love, either being so crazy about it, depending on how emotionally reacting, how intense the emotional reaction, even the like become love, meaning so strongly attached to that person or that thing that you saw. And therefore, different levels of attachment. Mind was attached to it, chitta. So then problem is these emotions that arise in your mind, constantly arising emotions, change your feelings. Change your feelings about that moment. I'm on the phone and my friend is talking to me and give me a bad information, maybe about my friend's illness or something. Maybe he's in sick or something, and that affect me, and I am now down because my good friend is in the hospital and not doing too well. Or if the same person can call and accuse you for doing something that you did, he accused you, and then you think, I didn't even do something, why is he accusing me? And then you get upset and start thinking about it. That's called papancha. When somebody told you something and you start thinking about it. My friend, my best friend, he's such a nice person. He's in the hospital. He's affected by COVID, and now hopefully he recover. And all these ideas come into your mind and take you over. Take you over. Take you over means now what you saw, what you heard, what you see is controlling you. That's the problem. Take you over means that is controlling you. Now your mind, your life is somewhere else. You are here, but your mind is somewhere else. Taken over, swayed away. It's called swayed away. Chittena niyati loko. The world is taken over by emotions. These emotions are the one that change the world. I told you about Hitler this morning, and whatever going on in his mind, he was using his power of speaking and power of influencing, and that's emotionally he's getting other involved and create the whole huge war and make 1,000 people die. Chittena niyati loko. Not only Hitler, we also do exactly the same thing all the time. I'm talking about the Buddha's teaching. So my mind is operating in the Dhamma at this time and discussing and talking about the Dhamma, and I am influencing you. But the sad thing is that what I see is influencing me. What I hear is influencing me. I feel so hurt if somebody accused me for something I didn't do. And all night, all day, all week, I'm thinking, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. But they think that I did it. They are accusing me. They are discussing everybody else. My friends are phoning each other and talking about something that as I did, but I know I didn't do it. And I have no responsibility for it, but they all think I'm responsible for it. So now I'm depressed and I'm unhappy, I'm upset and I'm angry and all these things. I'm taken over by what I heard, what I see. So unfortunate. Buddha had seen all these things are happening. I know I didn't do it, but I'm depressed. Why? Because I heard that everybody else is talking. My friends are talking about something that I didn't do as I did. And they pick up the phone and call Las Vegas and say, Bante did this, Bante did that, And now the people in Las Vegas know the thing and all these things going on like this. And Buddha had seen it. And there's no escape. Because as long as your eyes are functioning, your sensory organs, ear and nose and mouth and tongue and all this body and all this are functioning, there's no escape. Either you like certain things and sometimes you don't like certain things. Now what happens if you like something? You like the flower and next day you come see the flower and it is fading. And it's so sad. You're really excited about. Oh, the time to end now. I think we are talking about the mind and how the mind influences us. And that is why Buddha wanted us to see what is going on in the mind. So you see for yourself that you are affected by what you heard, what you saw, which is totally unnecessary. Because you take it too seriously and now you are depressed and now you are unhappy. And that is what you call suffering. Now you suffer. So the Buddha said, look at the mind and see what is happening in the mind and get control over your mind. And that can be done with the tool called mindfulness. I ask you to sit down whenever you are alone, sit down in a chair, sit down in the bed, and keep looking at your own mind, how it is operating, how it is so fast moving, how it is landing on things that you have never seen in your whole life. You can see your mind. You can keep looking at your mind. At least at this point, you get to know how your mind is operating, working, and making you so unhappy mostly. Generally, it is unhappy. There is some situation that make you happy for a short time, but majority of the time, things are not going the way you want it, and that is what you see. And then after a while, you become interested in going actually to a inside meditation session, because now you have been training yourself at home little by little to look at the mind, and now you go seriously look at the mind in the meditation center or meditation session. And that is how you overcome lot of problems of the mind and fix them. And now this is only time we have for Dhamma discussion, but it became a Dhamma talk. But if you pay attention to what I said and try to see for yourself, instead of believing in me, is that really what is happening? Bhante said, when the eye touches an object, it creates emotion. When ear touches the sound or some sentence or some statement by your friend, it creates excitement, it creates emotion, good or bad, negative or positive. So see for yourself, and that way you learn more about yourself. That means you know more Dhamma. Listening to Dhamma, but the seeing the Dhamma is two different things. But if you listen, then it is easier, it becomes easier for you to see the Dhamma. Okay, this is the end of the Dhamma discussion, and thank you very much for joining. And now we have the meditation session for 30 minutes, and Bhante Sumana is here, and he will guide you. Thank you very much, and may you all be happy and well. Wish you good health and happiness. And after the meditation, we have a break, and then we have the evening puja. That is at 4 o'clock, Buddha Puja. And then after that, we have the recitation of the suttas to bless all of you, including all the people who are affected by COVID-19 virus throughout the whole world. So we want them to be free, happy, and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.